everyone, welcome back to part 2 of this underwater tree from Imagimorphia. So right now I am basically just continuing to lay down color with my Inktense. So yeah, once we get all of that laid down, then we will activate it and move on to putting the oil pastels on the background there just to finish up the background and make that look a little bit more polished. Okay, so we've laid down finally most of the base colors for the page, and we're going to go in now and activate what we haven't activated with our water brush.
And for some of these that we put down more than one color, just try your best to keep the color in one place. Let's go ahead and I'll do this one with you right now. I got my little, you can use, you know, a piece of a rag, or I like to use paper towel to clean off my brush pen after in between colors or dark and light shades of colors. So you basically want to start with your light color and then slowly blend into, and I kind of go a little bit back and forth, blending into your dark colors, and then clean off your brush and then go in with where your light colors are, and clean off your brush again. So the key is basically sometimes you can just pat it in here just to activate it without really moving it around. Sometimes I like to do that. It just depends on the situation. So we'll get this light green area here. Oopsie, let's try and clean that up. There we go. And just blend it in without moving the colors around too much. Yeah, that's looking really good. So we'll go with the light here. There we go. And then into the dark. Kind of patting the color a little bit there where we really want it to stay. Go. So I really like working with these Derwent Inktense. My favorite part is this part right here, just activating it and moving the color around where you want it to be and just seeing it kind of come to life. I love that. Let's see here. Did we get this? I think we did. Okay, now we'll do the fins, starting with the light and kind of working into the dark. There we go. The light and working into the dark. There we go. This dark area here, we're just going to pat it so we don't move the color around too much. And then we got the fins on the top. We're going to start with the light and work down into the dark. There we go. There we go. Yeah, he looks good. All right, we'll do this one too. There we go. And I'm not really worried if we get into his eye. We're gonna be going over this page pretty heavily, detailing with white Posca and Tooli-Art pens probably. So that's why I wasn't really concerned with really being too detailed. And all of these little elements of the page are so small that it's almost impossible to get super detailed anyway. All right, let's do this turtle. Starting with the light and blending it into the dark area there. And then cleaning off the brush so we don't transfer that dark color when we go back into the light area. Okay, now these guys, when I laid down the color, I was like, okay, this is going to be a little tricky because I don't, you know that yellow and blue make green, and I don't care if there's a little bit of green in this transition area. I figured there would be, but I still want to try to keep the colors in place as much as possible. So we'll start with the yellow and then just kind of transition and feather it there. There we go. And then just kind of pat the colors in the blue, dark blue area. And then we can just kind of bring it down here. Okay. Kind of blend that out a little bit more. There. All right, let's do his head here. Okay. I'm going to just drag some of this, a little bit of this blue down into here. It kind of picked up a little bit of that orange from the tentacle, but that's all right. We're going to, excuse me, we're going to be outlining these in white or yellow or something anyway, so let's do this one right here. Okay. I think I'm going to bring just a little, get a little bit of blue on my brush and just kind of, there we go. So it's not quite so bright right there. And just kind of blend that and make a little bit of a green transition area there. And there we go. So let's do this guy. There we go. Pretty easy, not too terribly difficult. So, yeah, I just wanted to put for these jellyfish here, I just wanted to just lay down some yellow because I wasn't sure what color I'm going to go in with. They're not going to be just only yellow. I want to add some more color, but I thought I would do that with the pencil. So for the these jellyfish, we'll just go ahead and activate it. Won't be too particular about where the color is going on those. It's just a base color. I hadn't decided if I wanted to do pinks in them or oranges. Sometimes I like to wait on certain elements of the page until I get most of the page done, and then I can see what, especially with a page this colorful, that way I can see, well, maybe we could use more, you know, pinks over here, or, you know, just to keep the page balanced, if that makes sense. There we go. Boy, I really hope this page turns out. Oh, sometimes you're like, oh my goodness, I don't know. But then at the very end, it just kind of pulls itself together, you know? So let's do these guys. We're gonna start in the light area so that I don't drag too much color into there, and then work our way into the dark area. There we go. Okay, it's looking pretty good. All right, I am going to go ahead and speed up the video and work on these, activating these details, and I'll see you in a little bit. Okay, so we're back. I went ahead and finished activating the rest of this area down here. And you see, I went ahead and I wasn't sure what I was going to do with the background. I knew I wanted to put some kind of an overlay on top of the Derwent Inktense, but I wasn't sure if I wanted to use chalk, oil pastels, or what was the other thing I was thinking? Distress crayons. So in the end, I chose to use oil pastels. And let me grab the box here. This is just a very affordable budget brand. Mungio, I think is what it's called. They make a lot of, like, they make the chalk pastels. I have a set of their chalk pastels. They make a lot of budget friendly, I think it's Japanese brand. So budget friendly art supplies. So I have this just 24 color set, and I'll put a link down below in the description box, but I think it was like around $15-ish, which I thought was very affordable. And I have the colors that we're using. I already took them out, but yeah, it comes with, you know, your basic set of colors here. And I pulled out and used 4 different ones here. I used and I'll list these in the description box as well. The Prussian blue, violet, sky blue, which is this little bit of really light blue here, and cobalt blue, which is the darkest blue. So I thought that those 4 colors best suited what we already had on here, kind of trying to match what we already had. So what I did was, and then I'll show you with this side, basically just apply the oil pastels on top where we wanted them. It got a little roughed up. You'll probably go through a couple of these, but these little finger blenders, which come in really handy. Oh, I've got some of the oil pastels on my hands here, but these finger blenders come in really handy. This guy got a lot of work because I did this whole side, and you pressed pretty firmly to get it blended out. So you might end up going through a couple of these, but they're very affordable too. I bought like a bag of 10 of them or something like that off of Amazon, and I'll put a link to those as well. So I went ahead, applied that to the background, and in where it got really close to these guys here, I used just a basic Q-tip. So just a basic Q-tip, to blend that in and have a little bit more control in some of these tight areas. Now, I only went to about here, and then inside all of these little nooks and crannies, again, I applied a second layer of the deep indigo, and in the bigger areas I went ahead and filled it in and then activated it with my little tiny water brush, which I've been using pretty much this whole page. You definitely want a tiny water brush. But like with the areas that were just really tiny in here, I grabbed it straight from the pencil and applied it like a little watercolor that way. Had a little bit more control with that application method. So we'll go ahead and do some of this side together, or I'll show you what I did. So first, let's go ahead and use the oil pastels. So the Prussian blue was my darkest, and basically I just applied it where my darkest blue was. So just kind of right along here, trying to get as close as I can to the image. Now, I did go, when I was blending on this side, I did go over the image a little bit just so I could get it right into the image, but it really didn't affect it too much at all since it's already a pretty dark color. So I got some of the leaves up here, but I'm really not too worried about that. They're going to be, you know, highlighted with Posca anyway, so it probably really won't show too much. So we'll go ahead and apply this, and I'm just kind of using a circular motion as I go. And oh, I have my backer sheets. Since these Kirby pages are big, I just used, I have a bunch of scrapbooking supplies because I also scrapbook, but I just used my 12 by 12 sheets of, I just had some cheap 12 by 12 cardstock that I put back in there. Okay, so we'll just bring that out here. Here. Let's see. Now right here I used my Cobalt blue, which is the next shade up or lighter. Okay, and we'll put some of that right down here. Here. I don't know if you can hear that, but the neighbors have some kind of tree trimmer or tree shredder or something going. So they're cutting down some tree. So I apologize for that noise there. Okay, get some of this covered here. Oops, got into the little jellyfish. I'm just going to grab my Q-tip and just kind of wipe it off there. All right, So next we'll go in with the violet. And you don't have to apply this too heavy. You know, just a medium light pressure, I guess I would say. Oh, well, I didn't leave much room for that really light color over here. Kind of need to balance that out a little bit. We'll put it up here. Okay, and I already got purple there, so we'll have to go in with the violet here. All right, so next we'll start blending that out. So I've got my little finger blender here, and just start working on blending. Now this, you do have to apply a fairly firm pressure. And my little blender's kind of falling apart, but I think it should hold out on me. If not, I'll grab that second one I have. And we're just blending in a circular motion right over those. Now, I got this idea because I had been, where's my brush? There it is. I watched my Coloring Craze. She uses the oil pastels, but oh, my dog. Sorry about that. My dog just, I don't know, coughed or something. So over at my Coloring Craze YouTube channel, she uses these oil pastels in her background, but she uses them as accents or streaks, and then she blends them out with a finger brush. And I just kind of got the idea of just doing the whole thing because I really felt we really needed to cover up a lot of that Inktense. So we'll go ahead and just keep blending, blending, blending. See, and it's just coming out really nice. And then we go back in with our deep indigo and darken all of this up. I'll probably use black pencil to darken up the black in here. So we're almost done with this thing. Oh my goodness. I was kind of starting to feel like I've been doing this page forever. But a double page Kirby is, you know, you can count on spending some time on that. Okay, let's see if I can get in there. I'm going to use my Q-tip. I mean, it doesn't work like a charm, but it does work. And we'll go back in with the Derwent Inktense around these guys just to blend it in a little better. But yeah, so you can see it does a pretty good job. It's kind of eating up my Q-tip, but that doesn't really matter. Okay, so you get the idea. I'll go ahead and finish the rest of this off camera. I'll pop back in and kind of show you what I'm doing, what I explained. I'll do a little bit of the Inktense pencil, and yeah, so I'll see you in a few. Okay, so just finished that area there. Actually, it looks pretty good. Yeah. So we're gonna go back in with our indigo and our tiny brush pen and just kind of start. So this area is a little bit bigger. So I'm gonna go ahead and just color that in and then go right in. With my brush pen. It's pretty tedious, really, but you know, you want the darkness, the deep blue to match up with what's going on the outside. So yeah. Now, like for these little tiny spots here, I'll just get some off of my pencil and just tap it in there. And it's okay if it goes over top of the tree branches, because they're a pretty, you know, dark color anyway. It's not really going to show. But like for this yellow, the yellow tentacles on this jellyfish, try to want to go around those as much as possible. Just darken up those areas a little bit. Okay, here's one that I can go ahead and color in and then kind of spread the color around. There. Yeah, and the best thing about using the oil pastels, they are not going to go through. Look, we had no bleed through. The only bleed through I had was just a little bit right here and right here from the, did you even get that? Let's see. Yeah, just this right here and this right here. That was because I got too much water when I was originally activating the Inktense, and so it did bleed through a little bit, but honestly I am not worried about that at all because I can just easily do a dark background on that one and cover it right up. So okay, so we went over how to darken up these little nooks and crannies. So what I'm going to show you is then we're going to darken up along the edges here. So basically I just took it straight from the pencil and just watercolored it. That way I could get real precise on my application. I don't know if you can hear my dog. She's actually, I have two dogs, and one of them is a little French bulldog, so her breathing is really loud. And the other is a retired greyhound. We used to rescue greyhounds a lot. She's our, let's see, fourth greyhound. Yeah, so, but she's getting up there. She's 11 years old now, which is pretty old for, she's the oldest greyhound we've ever had. We've never had a greyhound live that old because usually they get cancer. They're very susceptible to cancer, and that's how we've lost all of our other greyhounds over the years. But she has been sticking in there, and we're so grateful because she has been like the best dog I've ever had. You want an easy dog? That is, she's been the easiest dog. I think because she's so sensitive, she doesn't, you know, she doesn't try to, you tell her no once and she's like, okay, got it. I won't do that again, I promise. But it will be a sad day when she passes, that's for sure. So, okay. So we're just filling in these areas. All right, so just gonna lay down a little bit right there. I feel like it didn't get quite dark enough. Yeah, just, you know, kind of use your own judgment, how dark you want it. If you need to go in a third time in a little area, let that first area dry. And you can go back in some more and put in another layer. So, okay, so I think I'll let you guys go work on that, and I will catch up with you once I've finished touching up all of this. All right. Okay, so we finished adding in the second layer of the Inktense Indigo in the background here, just to match it up with the rest of the background, and I feel pretty happy with that. Now, one thing I did decide, so I hope you haven't already, maybe just filling in a little bit, I decided that I'm not going to color all of this in here with black pencil. I'm just basically doing some touch-ups in some areas where I might have missed with the Inktense. But the reason why I don't want to fill it in completely is because we've got these little ghosts and little blob doodads here that I want to still be able to see. And if we go in and fill this thing completely with pencil, then we won't be able to see those, because I do still plan to outline those with white Posca. So right now I'm just going in and with my Prisma black and just kind of spot checking some little areas that might be like really light or kind of missed altogether with the Inktense, and just kind of blending it in so it looks how I like it. You can blend it to how you like it for your page. I just didn't want it to get too dark in those spots. So, kind of lightly put in some right here, here. Okay. And yeah, these are pretty light down here, and that's fine where those little guys are. So I'm just going to go in and just lightly shade in some of the areas around it. I'm sorry if you can hear my little dog in the background. She's a little Frenchy and kind of snorts a lot, makes a lot of noise while she's chewing on her little chew toy. So okay, I think that's pretty good. Okay, so then what we're gonna do is I'll zoom in just a little bit more here. Hopefully that's enough. Go back in where these angelfish are, and I did one already, just a little bit. We're gonna, because they're like yellow and black, but I'm just shading in these little spots here with it darkest up front, and then fading a little bit lighter towards the back of that little detail there, as much as I can there. And then where the little fin is, I think I'm just gonna make some little flicks there. Okay. Not sure what I should do with the tails there, if anything. I mean, okay, that looks pretty good. All right, so let me grab a cadmium orange hue. Okay. I don't have a little card, but hopefully you can see that. 118 cadmium orange hue. And well, I'll start with these guys down here. I just kind of want to darken up where their fins come out, just at the base, and then fade to the top. Yeah, we'll see how that'll look. So yeah, we'll just go around to all of these fins and darken the base up a little bit. And a little bit in the body here, where there would be more shadow shading. Okay. I didn't do that for these ones. Just kind of where you think it needs it, you know. There's really no rhyme or reason to what I'm doing. Just darkening it up where I feel like it needs darkened up. It's your page, so yeah. Okay. All right, let's go up to these guys up here at the top. Just make that stand out a little bit more. Oh, I forgot to even put in the Inktense here. I must have got distracted and then forgot about it. I do that all the time. Now, what was I doing? Or just completely forget. So, okay. Now, I haven't decided if some of these I'm going to go in, I don't know what I'm going to do. I kind of like them to be the orange and white, you know. I was trying to decide if I wanted to go back in with yellow, but I already have kind of orange to yellow here, and down here, I don't want to have that much of the same color combinations going through, if that makes sense. I want it to have lots of variation, more interest. Okay. Now with these seahorse, I kind of feel like I want to do something else. Let me think about what I want to do with those, and I'll get right back with you. Okay, that didn't take long. I think I want to put just some dark red in there. Let's see. So I have this color swatch sheet that I've had probably since like 2016 or something. It was actually my daughter. My daughter colored it in for me. I let her color it in. And then I had it laminated, and I kid you not, I use this swatch sheet almost every time I color. It was just one I downloaded from the internet, but it works perfect. So I'm kind of trying to decide what shade of red to go. I'm going to just put it into the darkest areas on these guys. Let's just do a crimson red. So, and my crimson red, I think that's this one. Oh, 9. This is Crimson Lake. Okay, that'll work too. Both of those, they're so similar. And this guy is so tiny. I'm gonna have to, let me find my little sharpener. Oh, here it is. So I use this little Prisma pencil sharpener for when the pencils get really small like this. And normally I have like an electric sharpener though, so. Okay. Yeah, I probably got it too sharp and the end's gonna break off, but Okay. So this is Crimson Lake 925. I better keep out what I use out so I can list it in the description box. Okay, so let's just go in. Yep, the end just broke. All right, we'll go in here a little, just a tiny bit, just to give it some added dimension, because we're probably, like I said, going to use Tooli-Art pens and Posca, white Posca. So hopefully, oh, I'm sorry. Let me zoom you in. Hopefully you can see what I've been doing there. I just kind of darkened pretty much all of the shadow areas. Just made the color a little bit more intense in the darkest areas there. These guys are so tiny, there's really not much you can do. Oh my gosh, my little dog is just chewing away at that bone. Sorry if I hope it's not too distracting for you. That's why, part of the reason why I don't do like live colorings, because the dogs are just like so distracting. I've got two, and if it's not one, it's the other. All right. I guess I could put them out of the room, but then they'd sit out there and whine. So can't win here. Okay, I think I like that better. Was there, oh yeah, there's one right here. I hope I'm not missing one. There. And now they're just kind of... All right. All right. Now, I'm going to figure out what we're going to do next, and I will be back. Okay, so we're going to work on these jellyfish next. I've got Process Red PC994. You can see that. It's getting kind of short there. And we're just going to go into the shadow areas with this Process Red, kind of a pinky red color. And let's see. Let's bring this down just a little bit into the tentacles. Okay. All right. Okay. Oh my gosh. Penny, you are being so... I'm not going to play with you right now. She wants to play. Okay. All right, so that looks okay. I kind of feel like I should do all of them the same though. So we'll just continue what we're doing there. Okay, so I'm just gonna go around and lighten up, if I can, the tips of some of these leaves that I got a little of the oil pastel on. Just kind of, I like how bright they are, because we're going to be outlining them in white, and I kind of want them to stand out a little bit more. So I'm just trying to lighten them up as much as I can without going into the oil pastel in the background there. Just lighten that up there where I covered it a little too much. Okay, that way, yeah, they'll hopefully show up a little bit better. Okay, and I don't think I'm going to do too much more with the pencil work. I really think it's pretty colorful as it is, and everything is so small that I'm really not going to get too concerned with doing too much more detail. So we'll just get these brightened up, and then I will all right, I'll be back with my Tooli-Art pens. Okay, so I've got my white Posca and 2 sets of Tooli-Art paint pens. I think so I've got the Earth and Skin Color set here, and I've also got the Assorted Colors set here, which I think this one has most of the bright colors which will complement this page. I've got my little swatch chart here, so I can kind of go off of that. One thing I kind of thought, since I left this magic wand because I wasn't sure what I wanted to do with it, maybe we'll just go ahead and go in with I was trying to decide if I wanted to use the gold Tooli-Art pen or if I wanted to use just like a yellow Tooli-Art pen. But I think I'm going to go ahead and do the gold Tooli-Art pen with that guy. So I'll get that one out here. Right, now these ones, these ones were not numbered, which normally really kind of irritates me, if you want to be honest. But what I did was I just went ahead and numbered them myself. I was able to pretty much figure out what colors were which from kind of looking at the swatch chart that they had on the back of the box, and just, pretty much process of elimination. Well, there's only so many blues, so this has to be this has to be that type of thing. So yeah, so mine are numbered, and they do not go by this order, so my numbers are not going to correspond with yours, but I'm going to try to use pens that, you can pretty much tell what they are on the back of the box. So yeah, this one is the gold one, and I'll try and get it shaking up here. Probably should have done this off camera. Let's see, I got my scratch piece of paper here. Make sure it's flowing. I don't hear the little thing inside. There we go. Okay. So we'll go ahead and just do this. Fill that in there. And then I'm going to make little like lines out of it, like it's glowing. Oops, I got a little wide there. And it doesn't seem like it's coming out evenly. So I'm going to let that dry right there and then go back over it. Let me zoom you in here. Sorry. Okay. So just filling that in. And I think the lines that I am going to use around it are just going to be the white Posca, because we got this little, what I called him earlier, blob with eyes. There we go. Looks like he's holding it. So we'll use our white Posca to go over that little dude. Ooh. Okay. I might have to take care of that later. Oh my goodness, what's going on with my white Posca? Issues here. Oh, you know what? It could be. I wonder if it's not liking going over that oil pastel. I didn't even think about that. Well, let's check. I got a different Posca here. No, it must have been something going on with that Posca. So I might end up using this one. Okay, so this one is one of those, I think it's called the extra fine tip Poscas. These are really handy. Oh my gosh, sorry, my little dog is snoring. Oh, Frenchies. Gotta love them.
Yeah, so with the dog snoring and all, it was just going to be too distracting. So I decided to go ahead and put it on fast forward, since basically all we're doing is outlining with Posca, and pretty soon we'll be using the Tooli-Art pens.
Okay, so I'm back and did most of these like basic leaf shapes with the white Posca. I did these two guys, which kind of were similar to this one with the white Posca. We are going to probably do the shell and the pearl inside. And these guys right here, I'll just go ahead and do them right now. So let's do this pearl. Okay, I guess, I don't know. Just try to kind of outline the highlighted areas here. As I was looking at the Tooli-Art pens, I figured, I think the assorted colors set is the one that we're probably going to use mostly. I don't even know if we'll use any of the earth and skin set, because those are the ones that had, or the set that had the colors that I think would look best for this page. So we'll just, sorry if I'm covering up what I'm doing here if you can't see. Trying to get at the right angle. Okay, we'll just do these little lines here. Yeah, just, I can't believe the difference it makes just adding this little bit of white Posca. We're going to have lots of details here to do, but it really did make a big difference with the jellyfish and adding the bubbles and the dots around up here from the sea life going on. This little guy, I outlined him. I noticed that I'm having to kind of go over 2, sometimes 3 times with my Posca to get the right amount of coverage, and I have to keep making sure that the tip is clean, because when you, as you probably have learned with using Poscas, that they like to dry out the longer you have it out. So let's go ahead and do these guys, these blue fish right here, this one and this one. We will do with the Posca, just kind of do some outlines on the lightest areas. And then I'm going to put dots inside of them too, where those little circles are. So we'll just kind of do some dots in there and do their eyes. I don't know. Is that okay? I guess that looks okay. So most of the time I really just kind of, I'm like, well, maybe we'll try that. Flying by the seat of my pants here, so to speak. Sure, that looks good. Why not? Okay, bring that line up. And do the fins. Okay. Maybe some of the lines on the gills there. Okay, I forgot to do this fin here. Okay. so let's go ahead and get one of the Tooli-Art pens. I haven't even done, by the way, I haven't even done anything down here yet. So I figure once we get kind of figured out what we're doing up here, a lot of it is repetition. And then probably just let you guys do these on your own. I might do one of these tentacles. I haven't decided yet what I'm doing with those yet either, but I'll do some of this with you, but then I'll just kind of let you do that on your own and do whatever you'd like to do. And like I said, a lot of it is kind of the same as up here. So let's grab this. Well, I have it numbered as number 2, but it's Spring Lemon from the 30 Assorted Colors Tooli acrylic paint pen set. So one thing with these is you have to really make sure they're shook up, and I usually have my tester paper here that I just want to make sure it's going and flowing smoothly before I apply it to the paper. So let's go in and do these kind of ones that are reddish orange and yellow tips, and we'll just highlight the tips here. Okay. That doesn't look like it's kind of, I don't know, like disappearing. Kind of go over it again, see if that helps. Maybe I didn't have it shook up enough. Let me try shaking that up more. Hopefully that'll help. Okay, let's try this again. We might just have to go over these like a couple times. Looks like it's working a little bit better, but I'm still having to go over it again. So, all right. Okay, so let's move on to these guys over here. Okay, so I think I've got pretty much the lion's share of what I'm going to do for on the top of this page. Next, I still have most of the bottom to do. And so basically I'm just gonna follow basically kind of what I did up here, and I'm gonna do it off camera and let you do your page. and we'll meet back up at the end. All right.
Okay, so after I finished doing all of my highlights and Tooli-Art pen work down on the bottom, I decided to go in on the trunk of the tree and a little bit into the branches with the black black Prisma pencil. That way I could just kind of put in some more shadows and give it a little bit more depth in that tree trunk area there.
Okay, so I think we are done with this page. Now, I somehow didn't get all of the footage of me putting in the pastel violet Tooli-Art pen. I managed to save some of it, but some of it I lost. But basically, I just put it in kind of where the highlighted areas were, and maybe just to give it a little bit of highlight in some areas just to kind of even it out, if that makes sense. So, yeah, I think we're done. I feel done anyway. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. And yeah, if you have any questions or comments, please leave them in the description box below. And yeah, so I hope you all have a wonderful day, and thanks so much for watching. Bye now.